Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Grow Room. So it hasn't been that long since our last grow room update. It's only been maybe 3 weeks, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I've been super busy repotting, starting new seeds, and I'm still not done. But we have started moving a lot of things outside to get ready for my May plant sale. So I've started acclimating almost to everything. We still have a few things in the grow room, so I thought I'd show you what we have left. I'm almost done starting seeds for the season, but I do still have a few things left to start in the next week or so. So stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll share what those are. But let's take a look and see what we still have here in the grow room. I just realized I did not do a grow tent tour yet this season, so maybe I'll do that next week. But I've got the Mars Hydro TSL 2000 along with some AC Infinity fans and ducting here in the AC Infinity grow tent. I've also got a little controller up there to control the fans, but more on that in another video. We've got all of our, or almost all of our peppers here in the grow tent, and they are all doing really well. All of the Chinense varieties are here in that back tray. And then we've got our, I believe, Bacchitums are over here in this tray, and then the rest of these are all different varieties of annuums, sweet peppers, and mild peppers. All looking really good, and we'll need to get those acclimated here in about a week or so. Now let's take a look at the rest of the peppers. These are ones that are a little bit smaller, so I don't have them under the big LED. I've got these under the fluorescent T8 fixtures, and I did lift the lights pretty high up so that we could get a better look at the plants. But we've got our really cool looking variegated tangerine tiger. So these leaves were coming out really funky, and they still are for the most part. You can see they're pretty misshapen and just really odd looking. This one here in the front is probably the best looking one, but the rest of these are pretty wonky, so I'm not sure how well they're gonna grow. We've got another variegated one here called Ninfadora. That's a Chinense variegated variety. We've got our Traveler's Jalapeno. These are ones that I started much later. The ones in the back are ones that were in my pepper in a can that were extra ones that sprouted up that I just repotted into regular trays. So this is the Kangstar Starling and 2 Santakas. I almost need a ladder to get up to this top shelf, but we've got some more peppers up here. These are a late started tangerine tiger. I normally don't start peppers as late as I started these. I'm going to take these out so we could see them a little bit better. But these are a variety that I got from Craig Jennings, and he posted on Facebook that his tangerine tiger plant number 4 seeds are putting out some variegated leaves from ones that he started, as well as others are reporting. So I decided to last minute start 6 of these, and so far I saw some variegation on one of them. I think it is. You can see there's like a stripe, kind of a light colored stripe on the cotyledon of that one. They are just starting to put out primary or true leaves, and I'm not seeing any variegation yet on any of the true leaves, but hopefully we see some here pretty soon. And then here under my smaller Mars Hydro, the TS 1000, I believe, we've got our peppers in a can, and some of them are doing better than others. We've got the Santaka here doing pretty well. The Kangstar Starling is looking very sickly. The leaves are getting kind of curled and just does not look very good, so I'm not sure how that one's going to go, but it doesn't look good at all. And then we've got Ninfadora, so this is that variegated one. Unfortunately, the one that I left in the can does not appear to be variegated, which is kind of sad, but the leaves do look really nice and healthy. Then also under this LED with the peppers in a can, we've got a rosemary. So this is a rosemary that I got from Fairy Morse online. So they shipped, I think there was 3 of these, and I kept one in the grow room, put one in the greenhouse, and one of them outside, and we're gonna see which one grows the best. And then we've got sweet garlic from Row 7 Seeds. It's a brand new vegetable that's a cross between a garlic and a leek. And then we've got some shallots here called Ed's Red that I started a little bit late. So they're still in the grow room, but they could probably go outside. And they also need a little trim. Unfortunately, it was not a good fig cutting year for me. We've only got 1 fig cutting left. I started 3 varieties and this is all that's left. The roots look actually not too bad, but the leaf growth is not good at all. The one leaf that has come out, it's kind of splotchy and not looking good, and it hasn't put out any more leaves. I'm surprised how good the roots look, but all the other fig cuttings got roots and then the roots just dried up and the leaves fell and they just died. So I don't know if this one's gonna make it or not, but it's not looking great. I don't really need more figs anyway because I've probably got over 40 fig trees, which is more than enough. Here we've got our tomatoes. These are all the micro dwarf varieties, and I had the best germination this year I've ever had on tomatoes. Every single variety that I started germinated. I didn't have 100% germination on every seed I started, but at least had a couple of each variety. So those are the micro dwarfs, and then here we've got all of our cherry tomatoes. So these are going to stay in these 6 cell trays probably another week or so, and then I'll repot those into larger pots. And then on the shelf below that, we've got our larger tomato varieties, the beefsteaks and paste tomatoes, and these are really in need of repotting. I'll probably do that later this week, but we'll just take a look at the roots here. You can see they're starting to get pretty root bound, so I'm going to get those repotted probably in the next day or so, but they're all doing really well. I'm not having any fungal issues like I normally do, so that is really good. There's usually a few varieties that I get some fungus on the stem, but everything is doing really well this year as far as tomatoes go. Now behind our big tomatoes here, we've got all of our basils. I started 3 different varieties. We've got the purple opal basil here. I've got some sweet Genovese basil and then also some Thai basil. And you may not be able to tell, but if we look real close here, you can see I actually topped all of these basil plants for a couple of reasons. One is because they were just getting too tall and too close to the light, and I didn't have really a lot of room to raise it any higher, so I topped it for that reason. And then also I want them to get a little bit more bushy, so you can see how nicely this Thai basil is looking. If I hadn't topped that, it probably wouldn't have all this side growth coming out, so that looks really nice. I probably topped them maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, but those are going to be going outside here in a couple weeks, along with everything else. Up here on the top shelf, we've got a few ground cherries. I had pretty poor germination. I think I only had 3 of those germinate, and I haven't grown those in a long time, but I decided to give them a try this year. We've also got a few eggplants. Well, there's one here, and then I've got some more in the back I'll show in a second. And I've also got some tomatillos, which also had pretty poor germination. I think I ended up with maybe 8 seedlings. I already sold a few of them to some people that wanted to pick up starts early. So I think I've only got 3 of these left. Behind that tray, we've got the rest of our eggplants, and these are the larger ones that I started earlier than the few that we had in the other tray. But these are mostly still in either 4 or 6 cell trays, so I need to get these guys repotted up into some larger trays here before too long. Here next to our micro dwarf tomatoes, we've got 6 varieties of Cosmos. Unfortunately, some of them did not germinate well at all. So I think the seeds were a little bit old. We have that double click cranberries one that I was kind of looking forward to, and none of those came up. The Black Magic Cosmo, those seeds were super expensive, $5 for 5 seeds, and only 2 of those came up, so those are not going to get sold. I'm going to keep those and hopefully save seeds from those at the end of the season. And then we've got 4 other varieties. The Xenia Cosmo, I only had 1 come up of that one, but I had pretty good germination on the other varieties, and I need to get those repotted into individual cells here pretty soon as well. I have one more tray up here on the very top shelf, and I'm going to take these down because it's kind of hard to see what's in there from that position. So we've got a bunch of starts that I just recently started. We've got the sunflowers. I just started those a few days ago, and I think all of those are coming up. There's maybe 1 variety here that hasn't come up. We've got some coleuses. These are supposed to be a really pretty different various colors. I haven't grown those from seed before, so that is kind of new for me. And then we've got some straw flowers, 6 different varieties of straw flowers, and all of those did pretty well germinating. And then we've got another round of lettuce. This is probably the 3rd or 4th round of lettuce that I've started this season. But we have 2 varieties that did not germinate well. We've got the little gem romaine and this summer crisp. So I'm just going to toss those seeds because they're just not, I didn't get any to germinate on the summer crisp, and the other one is just barely coming up. So I think I'm going to just get rid of those seeds. We've got plenty more seeds that we can start in place of those. So 4 varieties that I'll need to be repotting into individual cells here pretty soon. It's an unusually sunny day today, but the clouds and rain are going to return here before too long. But we are outside here, obviously, and these are all the things that I've kicked out of the grow room. These are all the cold hardy stuff. We've got sage, parsley, chard, columbines. I potted up some mint and lemon balm from the backyard, so I didn't start these from seed. These are ones that I just dug up from the garden beds. Got our snapdragons, some, I think, round 4 of lettuces here, more snapdragons, and then I potted up some chives. We've got garlic chives here and regular chives here from the backyard, and we've got our kale. We've got some stuff here that I just recently took out of the grow room, so they're kind of in the shade right now. Those are the status flowers and nasturtium flowers, and unfortunately one of our nasturtiums looks like it got sunburned. I'm not sure why that one took so much more damage than all the others. All these trays over here are ones that I just took out of the grow room in the last couple days. So I've got them here against the railing, and so they're kind of in dappled sunlight right now. So we've got all of our zinnias, we've got calendulas, marigolds, some more flowers, parsley. We've got our Rocky Mountain penstemon back there. We've got some rudbeckia. And then this is, what is that? Gomphrena, asters, more marigolds and nasturtiums. This is all of our amaranth and our coleus, or no, celosia, not coleus. More penstemons and our lace flowers. That's how everything that was started in the grow room is doing. As you can see, most of the stuff has started moving out of the grow room, and everything else is going to be leaving probably in the next couple of weeks, and it'll be dark and quiet here in the grow room. I still have squashes, melons, cucumbers, and my corn to start, and I'll probably be starting those in the next week or 2. I've also got tons and tons of fig trees that I need to get repotted and root pruned, so very busy the next few weeks. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.